Hello everyone, welcome to today's video and this is your friend Bharat Shankar. In the year 2020, Maruti Suzuki's market share was above 50%, but within 2 years it had come down to 41.5%. And this is the lowest market share of Maruti Suzuki in the last 8 years. But at the same time, its rival Tata Motors has reported a rise of market share which stands at 14.3%. And it is the highest market share of Tata Motors in the last 13 years. And some of you might think that the electric vehicles of Tata Motors is doing all this magic, but that is not the case, because in June quarter 2022, Tata Motors sold around 37,000 units of automobiles, and out of that only 3,500 were electric vehicles. And presently in Tata Motors, the electric vehicles are contributing less than 10% of the overall units sold. And of course, there is no doubt that electric vehicles are the future, but today that is not the reason why Maruti Suzuki has lost more than 12% of its market share of passenger vehicle segment in just 2 years. So the reason why Maruti Suzuki is losing market share is because there are many things that Maruti Suzuki is doing wrong, which is directly impacting its market share. So in today's video, we'll look at the real reasons why Maruti Suzuki is losing market share and what are the real reasons behind that. But before we go forward, I'd like to tell you that me and my team, we really work very hard to make such kind of a quality content for you guys. And if you want to appreciate the hard work and efforts we put in, then you can press the like button and like the video, and you can also press the red button to subscribe to the channel. So now let's discuss the real reasons why Maruti Suzuki is losing market share. So the first and the biggest reason why Maruti Suzuki is losing market share was the complete removal of diesel engine cars from its portfolio in April 2020. Because for Maruti Suzuki, the diesel cars were contributing about 1/3 or 33% of the total cars sold by Maruti Suzuki. But the company had to cut back on diesel engines because of the strict B6 norms, which is also called as BS6 or Bharat Stage 6, which is the new emission standards that all vehicles in the country will have to follow from April 1st, 2020. Because all the vehicles made under BS6 norms are over 50% less polluting than BS4 vehicles. So for this reason, Maruti Suzuki decided to stop producing diesel cars, and because of which since 2020, the market share of Maruti Suzuki has been constantly falling. And then comes reason number 2 why Maruti Suzuki is losing market share. So another aspect that has led to the fall of Maruti Suzuki's market share is the increasing demand of SUVs. So right now the only SUV in Maruti Suzuki's portfolio is, whereas rivals like Tata Motors, Hyundai, Kia and Mahindra are commanding the SUV segment with multiple products. And right now there is a craze for SUVs, and Maruti is completely missing this trend. And on the other hand, Tata has Nexon and Hyundai has Creta as their best selling cars. But on the other hand, the product line of Maruti Suzuki doesn't seem to fulfill the public demand for SUVs, because the two successful SUVs from Maruti Suzuki are Brezza and Ertiga, where Brezza was at number 1 position but now has lost its position because there is tough competition from models like Creta, Nexon, etc., which are gaining traction in the market. So presently the SUVs of Maruti Suzuki are in top 5 SUVs in India, but still they are heavily losing market share to competitors like Tata Motors, Hyundai, Kia and Mahindra. And now comes the third reason because of which Maruti Suzuki is losing market share. And this third reason is very critical. So let's try to understand with a simple example. Suppose you are a businessman and you are earning very well, and you are in love with the new model of Tata Safari which cost about 23 lakh rupees. But Tata recently increased its price by 2 lakh rupees and now it cost about 25 lakh rupees. So now the question is, will you buy it? The answer might be yes, because for someone like a rich businessman, this price hike is adjustable. But on the other hand, let's take an example of a middle class person who was willing to buy a Maruti Suzuki WagonR. But now if Maruti Suzuki has increased its price from 5.5 lakh rupees to 6.5 lakh rupees, then it might so happen that many people who come from middle class families may not afford this car because their budget is very tight and every rupee matters to them. And this is the exact problem Maruti Suzuki is facing as a middle class car manufacturer. Because if you see, the most popular model of the company is Maruti Suzuki WagonR. And why do you think Maruti Suzuki got 50% of the market share? Because of its build quality? Exactly no. Then why Maruti Suzuki got 50% market share in the Indian market? It was because Maruti had some of the very affordable cars like the Alto, WagonR and Swift. which were not only affordable but also gave the best mileage in the industry. But now, because of the rising raw material cost, Maruti is forced to increase its car prices, and because of which many Maruti cars are no longer affordable for a middle class person because it's simply out of their budget. And affordable pricing was one of the strong competitive advantage of Maruti Suzuki, but now it seems like the company is losing it. And another important reason behind this condition of Maruti Suzuki is its bad build quality. Because over the past few years, there have been rising concerns regarding the safety and strength and various other factors related to the vehicles of Maruti Suzuki. But of course, the company is fulfilling the minimum parameters as per the regulations, but is falling behind in case of additional facilities regarding safety and strength, etc. And that is the reason why customers who want safety while driving choose cars that are built like a tank. And presently, Maruti Suzuki seems to be losing additional ground based on the bad build quality. And this is the current situation of Maruti Suzuki, which doesn't look good. And in the future, if Maruti Suzuki wants to make a comeback and gain the lost market share, then it will have to make good quality cars so that they can compete with Tata Motors and other brands, especially in the SUV segment. And along with that, they should also figure out a way to reduce the cost of cars, especially which come under the economy segment, which contributes to a big market share of Maruti Suzuki. And along with all these factors, there is another important factor because of which the shareholders of Maruti Suzuki believe that the stock price can continue to underperform because presently there is a big revolution that is coming in the automobile segment, but Maruti Suzuki is presently refusing to participate in this revolution, and that revolution is of electric vehicles. And that's why the shareholders of Maruti Suzuki believe that the stock price will continue to underperform unless the company introduces its electric vehicles into the market. And here some might say that Bharat, it is totally fine because right now the electric vehicle market is at a very early stage and it is totally fine for the companies to take their own sweet time to enter into this segment. And maybe you are right when you think about it from a business perspective, but if you see it from an investor's perspective or from the perspective of companies' valuation, then presently the valuation of automobile companies is shifting towards those companies which are leading in electric vehicle segment. For example, if you see Tata Motors market share was 7.5% in the year 2020 and now it is around 14.3%, which has almost doubled in 2 years. But in the same period, Tata Motors share price has given more than 500% returns, and all of this was possible because of the electric vehicles Tata Motors has in its portfolio. So from the valuation point of view, Tata Motors is getting a good valuation because investors believe that electric vehicles are the future. And this is the reason why automobile companies who are working on electric vehicles are getting good valuation and their stock price is going up. But on the other hand, those automobile companies who have not yet started working on the electric vehicles or don't have plans to launch their electric vehicles are losing valuation and their stock price is either stagnated or is falling down. And this phenomenon of valuation shifting towards electric vehicle industry was first seen in the US market, where electric vehicle company like Tesla was valued more than the combined valuation of its top 5 rivals together. But presently, Maruti Suzuki is still in the mode of wait and watch, where they want to see and understand how the developments happen in the electric vehicle segment, and based on that they are planning to launch their electric vehicles only after 2025. But in the meantime, competitors like Tata Motors and Mahindra are aggressively pushing in the electric vehicle segment, and with the first mover advantage, they want to capture as much market share as possible and establish a strong brand name in the electric vehicle segment, which they believe will give a strong competitive advantage over its rivals in the long run and help them to remain market leaders for a very long time. So presently, if you see, Maruti Suzuki as a brand is very strong, but whether Maruti Suzuki will continue to lose its market share or it can successfully turn around and reclaim its lost market share totally depends on how they will play the future game of electric vehicles and also how well they focus on improving the build quality of their present vehicles and how aggressively they will compete in the SUV market. And of course, you can write your thoughts and opinions about Maruti Suzuki in the comment section, and you can also write in the comment section that whether you will be comfortable holding Maruti Suzuki's share for long term or not. So that's it for today, guys, and if you enjoyed watching the video, then please make sure to hit the like button and like the video, and you can also press the red button to subscribe to the channel, and most importantly press the bell notification so that you get an immediate update as soon as we upload our next video. So thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video. Until then, this is your friend Bharat Shankar signing off.